Welcome to another episode of Chat GRC on the Blue-Lusional podcast, where myself and Casey interview a brand new grassroots candidate every single week leading up to the general election midterms in November, because we are in midterms now.
Yes.
Primaries are happening. People are voting. Early voting is happening for things. It's not just a single day. It's a whole thing. This week, we got somebody from my home country of New Jersey. So, sir, please introduce yourself and what you're running for.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Devin. My name is John Hsu. I'm running for Congress in the 6th Congressional District of New Jersey, and that is in Central Jersey, which actually exists.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yup. He said it. He said it. It's real. You hear that, North Jersey and South Jersey people? Central Jersey exists. We are real people.
Proud Central Jersey here.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. We love Jersey. Jersey almost ceased to not exist to us based on whether we were going to have another Republican in office in November.
Yeah.
So this past November, and New Jersey, you guys turned out, and Mikey Sherrill.
New Jersey's doing good.
Perfect. New Jersey.
Adelita, Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
You
We're
guys
doing
are
some things.
You guys are doing real well, so let's keep that streak going through this
keep it
year.
going.
Let's keep this blue wave going. But our very first question is, what inspired you to run for election in this coming cycle?
Okay, yeah. So it was really about Palestine. So, we know what's going on there. It's a genocide happening.
Yep.
Things are still going on right now, despite a so-called ceasefire. So basically what happened was 2 years ago, I actually ran 2 years ago. I don't know if you know that. I ran 2 years ago because I was visiting mosques in the area. We have about 7 mosques in our district, and each mosque is really big, thousands of people. So I was visiting that mosque, and people were obviously very concerned about Palestine. We talked about the political landscape, and one of the leaders at the mosque asked me to run because there was no one in their community to do it. So I was kind of a stand-in. It was a 3-month campaign, 2 weeks to collect petition signatures to get on the ballot. A good thing I was a Bernie Sanders delegate and doing a lot of organizing. Reach out to my network and get the 300. It was only 300 signatures.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks to get it. So we were able to do that and decided to run again. And Palestine was still an issue. But now it's incredible that 2 years after that, after the last primary elections, things are even crazier now. Things are even worse now. Even more things to address right now. So I don't know. This is the time for some grassroots, some people to run, people who care about these issues that a lot of our incumbents are not talking about. And we also see that they're not fighting as strong as they need to be fighting, whether it's a voting war with Iran, whether it's really truly opposing ICE. There's just so much that our current politicians are not addressing right now. So now is the time for grassroots people to run.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed. They're not doing much.
Yep, they're not. They are not doing much. And yeah, they are avoiding the hard questions, especially now, because I think there is so much, we call it pulling back of the curtain, since the 2024 election, where we were like, why won't anybody talk about how bad it is that we are way too buddy-buddy with Israel? And why is Israel money over here? I don't understand. So everybody started pulling the curtain back and realizing pretty much all these politicians are the same when it comes to Israel. If they're getting money from Israel, they love and support Israel. And that didn't make any sense. So then we all band together and we're like, how do we fix that? We should be voting for grassroots candidates because they're not taking AIPAC money or corporate money for that matter. And I think that these politicians in office called our bluff that we wouldn't, we all wouldn't start supporting grassroots candidates. And now the walls are closing in. The primaries have been looking good for grassroots candidates, and they are now starting to tiptoe around it, but they're still not addressing it. They're still not using the word genocide. They're still not using that Benjamin Netanyahu's a war criminal, that Trump will flatten Gaza and build casinos over it, and he's never going to help the people of Gaza. And until we get more people like you in office, how much worse is it going to get there? I truly think that if you guys aren't in office, Gaza is going to pretty much cease to exist in the next couple of years. completely. So I commend you for running just on that principle alone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's huge. All right, sir. Need you to explain to the Central Jerseyans, what does a congressperson do and how can you use that influence on a local level?
All right. So a congressperson, they spend all their time raising money, but the grassroots, a
He's not
grassroots candidate,
exaggerating.
a grassroots candidate does not spend as much time raising. You still have to raise money,
Mhm.
but not as much time. Today I was uh, canvassing for 3 hours just now. Came back from that. But what does a congressperson do? So a lot of what they do is, obviously they make the laws. People know about that,
Mhm.
but they also have influence within their district, whether it's bringing in money through grants, through earmarks. Different sometimes bills have earmarks just that are money set aside for a specific thing, and a lot of times that could be within the district. So that's what they say. The politician has to bring home the bacon.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that's one thing. But also they have influence at what happens at local levels too. I'll give one example. We had a park that was sold to the county for a discount, like for half price years ago,
Mm.
and it had to remain a park. But unfortunately, the local Democrats, they wanted to make this a private-public partnership, install artificial turf fields, make it a fee to use the park, and it was never meant to be that. And they had to get approval from the National Park Service
Mm.
in order to allow this to happen. And unfortunately, we found out that our congressperson made a phone call to National Park Service and asked them to approve this park where we would lose a public good. And I would not have done that. I would
Mhm.
not. The downside of that is I would not be aligned with the local Democratic Party, unfortunately, on this issue. So there would be some battle back and forth, some discussion, I'm sure, if that happened. But I would. So to answer your question, I would do my best as a congressperson to protect public lands, make sure they are meant for to be used for what they were originally meant for, especially if it's for a good thing. And I'm a big environmentalist, so that areas it's going to get flooded. It's going to, it actually costs $60 million to do this
Well,
project because they're putting in 14 artificial turf fields. So and doing all this other stuff.
14.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there was a environmentalist, a local historian, environmentalist, and I'm good friends with him, but he said, no, I have to go with the incumbent. I've known him for a long time. After this, he's like, I'm going with you.
So?
Yeah.
Like, so?
It's all over.
That's good to hear, though, just because a lot of the candidates that we've been speaking to, they're big, like, environmentalists, like, because, I mean, we're getting killed, like, plainly put. Like, we
Yeah,
got the data centers we're dealing with. They're sucking up all the water. They're polluting.
yeah,
Tennessee is, like, dystopian as hell right now. So, like, that's just good to hear that you guys are focused on that quality of life
yeah,
improvement that
definitely,
people aren't looking at.
definitely. You actually reminded me. We helped stop a AI data center in the city of New Brunswick a couple
Wow.
weeks ago. And it was a
Brunswick?
crazy idea. It was already a crazy idea to put it in New Brunswick, but
Like,
I was
where?
yeah, exactly. Well,
Where the Kmart used to be?
it's actually a crazy story. These developers they took down these buildings and there were a lot of local businesses there, um,
Mhm.
including a friend of mine, and they said, oh, we're going to use this for redevelopment. We're going to build homes, and do all these wonderful things, and they never did it for years.
Of
Mhm.
And
course.
then so that's what they do. That's what these developers do. They wait.
Mhm.
They're like,
Mhm.
oh, now we have a chance for a warehouse
God.
or a data center. So they try to put in the data center, but it was just too many people. I mean, I can't really take credit for it because about 400 people came to a council meeting to oppose it, and I got a chance to address the crowd outside, but
Yeah.
so many people came to oppose it. So I mean, that's something I would do. I would be a part of the grassroots movement to protect our
Yeah.
communities,
Yes.
use my voice to do that. But it's really the credit to the voters, to the residents that really, help
Yeah,
stop
they're not
this.
having that shit.
Yeah.
They're not having
Yeah,
that
they're
shit.
not.
They said, "No, thank you."
Absolutely not.
No, no, no. Can't do
No way.
that.
No way.
Well, it seems that you're pretty in tune with the people in your district. And you, like you just said, you just came from canvassing. So you are what we call boots on the ground. So we want to know, you're the first person that we've interviewed from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So we want to know how your constituents in New Jersey are currently being
Yeah.
affected negatively by this administration.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely by ICE. Have been a lot of ICE raids in our district, including warehouses, like bonded warehouses. So like the Homeland Security, ICE can't go inside, but the Border Patrol can go inside. But then they bring ICE in. So that's what they do. So that's what's happening. I was able to witness one raid, and I saw this young girl like just crying and just being so upset because her family members were inside. Yeah, communities are deeply impacted, and they don't need to be. These are people who are working. Actually, a lot of them have work visas as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's going on? That's obviously too extreme. I think most people can agree with that. If you visa as well. But even undocumented people, they are contributing to society. So we can approach this in a better way than what we're doing right now. So that's just one incident. There has been multiple in our district. So we have a really good mutual aid, rapid response organizing from the local grassroots level. So they're doing that. Actually, a lot of my friends and supporters are organizing that right now.
Great.
So yeah, that's definitely one way we could push back on that. There's been some of my volunteers, while they're volunteering for my campaign, they also ran a rapid response training to help train our local people. And
Wow.
I think for that one, 80 people signed up, and they couldn't fit the room, unfortunately, at the library. In Asbury Park, which is one of the great towns in our district, my friends down there, there was like 2 sessions. I think at least 300 or 400 people came to that session in Asbury Park. There's really, really good people, really progressive people down there, right there at the shore, the real Jersey Shore.
Real Jersey Shore.
Yeah, these are the best people. Yeah. So anyway,
that's good though, because that's Congress people are supposed to provide resources. People don't know that, and that's it right there. Rapid response training.
Yeah.
It's something that should be offered, and it's sad that it has to be offered. Like both things can exist at once. We can be upset that there has to be rapid response training, but also be grateful that there are, because we've obviously witnessed what is happening in Minnesota now, what's seeming to be happening in Vermont. And, they've made it clear that they're just going to keep doing it until they get kicked out of one state and go to the next. And everybody has to be prepared, and the ones showing up are the community. The community is protecting. So, that is good to hear that the community is really rallying in the district and doing everything they can while also helping you. Like that just shows how great that community is.
It really is a great community. I really love it here, really.
Yeah. And I'm sure like Jersey, I know so many people who might not know, like a lot of people that don't want to live in New York City or can't afford to live in New York City will live in Jersey and like drive every day into work. So I'm sure the gas prices going up is not sitting well with people who work in the city either.
True. But I would say, a lot of people, more people take the train.
That's good.
Yeah,
I would right now.
Yeah, it is rough.
Yeah.
Because that would be rough every day to have to do.
But even you take the train, everyone still has a car, right? Like this is
New Jersey is not walkable.
It's not walkable. Yes, and you are definitely right. The gas prices have been hitting us, definitely.
Yes.
All right, so let's work on that. And one of the things we were excited to ask you about for this is that, so one of your priorities, you want to tax the ultra rich. Hell yeah. So how are you going to be able to realistically implement a plan that would be able to benefit the working class with that?
Yeah, definitely. So I want to repeal the Bush tax cuts, right? So
taking it back.
I do not have a long memory. I can't forget. For some reason, I can't let it go.
I'm still not over it.
Yeah.
I was a Bernie delegate, right? And what really got Bernie on my radar was he did a filibuster because the Democrats are trying to extend the Bush tax cuts
Yeah.
or make it permanent or something like that. He did it. It was about 8-hour filibuster. I was at work.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, who's this guy?
Still going.
Yeah, still
I like
going.
it.
He won my whole shit.
So yeah. So I mean, it's stuck in my memory. I know that like Warren Buffett, like he pays a lower tax rate than his secretary. That was a famous story. And the reason is the Bush tax cuts. It makes
Yep.
you're investing in stocks. It makes it you pay a lower rate than a salary, which I think is crazy.
Yep.
And I remember Bush Jr. He would say, "Oh, you're getting taxed twice." No, that's not how it works. Your investments, you're not contributing to society with your investments. Investments are fine. You can make some money for it, but you're not contributing as much as regular people who
Right.
are putting in the hard work. So let's cut the Bush tax cuts. It's going to be really hard. It's going to take a lot of public awareness. Getting out into perhaps different networks and talking about this issue, getting that word out, building a movement behind it. I would like to do that. Yeah, I mean that's a big part of what I've always been. Just a organizer. I'm not. I never wanted to be a politician. Right? Organizing is in my DNA, and that is a strength of mine, and I'm going to lean on that. So I will try to organize. We're going to organize first in the state, make sure we have a strong network within the state. People who want to get involved, who want to make a difference. And a lot of times these folks, they need direction. They need one thing to focus on, and we can help provide that with our office. So I think that's going to be a unique feature of our office, just to our focus on the local organizing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
here for that.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And then I like that you're big on like working as a team and organizing. You're not like a lone wolf. Because another thing of pulling back of the curtain is a lot of people didn't understand how legislation gets brought to the floor, how it's written up, and what is it with co-sponsoring? What does all of that mean? Do you need to
Mm,
co-sponsor and all that? And you realize that everything is such a group effort when it
yeah.
comes to the House and Senate. That's it's insane that that's why they say sometimes you have to reach across the aisle. Sometimes Republicans and Democrats are co-sponsoring the same bill. And so for us, we're like, okay, well, that's probably how it happens is you take the most realistic approach, the more politicians are going to want to co-sponsor and sign on to whatever bill you're writing up,
Mhm.
like I couldn't understand my last year. Everyone was like, why is Al Green always doing things on his own? It's
Like
like,
whipping votes. Why are they
yeah, why?
whipping
What
votes?
does
What does
that
that
mean?
mean?
Oh, this is like a group project.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I, I can I'll share a quick story. I helped the nurses at Robert Wood Johnson, New Brunswick when they
Yep.
were on strike.
Yep.
Yes.
And one thing I helped them do was I brought them to Trenton because they were trying to pass a safe staffing bill.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down 5-6 times during the lame duck period. And we like these nurses, like they kind of transformed in front of my eyes into lobbyists, like, like super lobbyists. They're like, "Oh, he's over there. Let's get him. Like the senator's over there. Let's go
Get
get him."
him.
And then they moved a lot of people to co-sponsor the safe staffing bill in
Oh,
New
yeah.
Jersey, and it was really
See?
great. And one time, we found a senator, like the senator that we were having a hard time finding. We found him like right outside his office, and the three of us went like kind of swarmed him. He's like, "Come on in, I'll talk to you." And then he's like, I was supporting the hospital, but based on like what I saw, I'm supporting you now. So thanks for coming to talk to me. So
Hey.
just a
See?
great experience. Like it was a great experience. It was a learning experience for myself as well. But like it was great to
Yeah.
be able to
You
swing
got to
some
get in their
people.
faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
get in their
You
faces.
have to be in front of them. And this actually leads perfectly into the next question because you are one of, very few grassroots candidates that are heavily involved in local activist groups.
Mm,
You have been doing it for a long time, organizing, like you've said, it's one of your passions, something that comes
mhm,
very easy to you, and you're very involved in local groups. So obviously, when you win, you're going to be in Washington.
mhm,
So tell us about how you plan and why it's so important to work with local activist groups while you're in
mm.
Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, the structure, I'm still trying to figure that out. I am the chair of oops, nothing fell down.
Oh.
But I was the chair of Our Revolution of Middlesex County,
Mm-hmm.
actually,
Yep.
Our Revolution, New Jersey.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's a grassroots group that came from the Bernie Sanders campaign. So, if when we win, I probably will not go back to that. So that's an org that I would want to work with. There's also Central Jersey DSA. There's Monmouth County for Palestine, Perth Amboy for Palestine. There's a lot of different groups here, and I would want to remain connected to them. I would have regular calls, let them know that what my priorities are, invite them to come join and support in that. Uh, and then I want to grow that through the whole state. So we'll start off locally meaning my district and two adjacent districts, because actually my district is a little bit gerrymandered, but we have two adjacent districts are both Republican. It's Tom Kaine and Chris
Mm-hmm.
Smith are the Republican Congress
Mm-hmm.
people there right now.
Mhm.
So we need to organize there, and I'm going to focus on that right away to get folks over there to be organized and to be ready to help push our agenda forward. And if the Congress people are not listening to us, then we want to help support other grassroots candidates that will be able to flip those districts.
Yep.
And a lot of
Got a
times,
plan.
yeah, well, yeah, a little bit. Um, a lot of times, the parties will push forward someone that's not so progressive, or that type of thing. So um, we would try to use our influence to get the right
Yep.
candidates in there. Right.
Yeah, and I think we're realizing that now, like that we're going through primaries. We're like, oh, okay, you guys didn't pick the right person. Okay, all right, fine, fine. We'll be back.
We'll be back, don't you
Yeah.
worry.
We'll be back. You guys messed up. We'll be back. We'll be back. Yeah, because like we said earlier, the veil was lifted. We're
Yeah.
seeing these certain people are being funded by, APAC, these corporate lobbies that are essentially writing the bills for them
Yeah.
that they're signing off on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, that's why you're not addressing, the ICE issue
Mm-hmm.
because you have stock invested in mega prisons. Like,
Mm.
oh, okay, that makes sense. You have to get out.
You gotta go. Yeah, your seats have
You
to
have to
be
go.
up, you know?
You have to leave.
And we have I feel like it was a no-brainer in our brains or non-politician brains to say,
Mm.
if you're in Washington and you want to know what's going on in your county, you obviously or your district, you can't be there as much. Wouldn't you would probably work with local activist groups, and the amount of politicians
Mm-hmm.
currently in seats that do not speak to
Mm.
local activist groups, and then they never
Crazy.
come to the district, they never hold town
Yeah.
halls. They
Yeah.
have no clue what's going on there, and it's like, I don't understand how that wasn't a thing, and yet all these grassroots candidates are like, "No, that's exactly what I'm gonna do." How like
And you would think like that, okay, since these people never want to show up in their district, like why wouldn't you have all the activist groups on speed dial?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I'm going to say one thing. The Congress, they work around 180 days a year. Sorry, a year. And what
Barely.
happens is the other half of the time, like I said earlier, yeah, barely, but they're raising money the other
Mm.
half of the time
Yep.
instead of being in their district. So
Or
that's
on vacation
well, on vacation. Yeah.
on their
So
yachts.
that's so. I mean,
Okay.
that's their reality. Like, yeah, that's how they need to raise the money in order to win their elections, right?
Right.
Yep.
My hope is that as I continue to organize, I won't lose the elections because we'll have a groundswell of supporters and people who know what we're about and who love what we're doing, and that'll make sure that we do not lose
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
next following elections. So
Yeah.
that's a
If you do your
different.
job, people will give you money. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
I don't know. Am I looking at it like too simplistic?
These politicians have done it the same way for so long. Like, I think they can't imagine a world like that.
Just
My the
constantly
incumbent, yeah,
thinking about money, like
yeah,
my day off, I gotta go talk to this big corporate pack and make sure I'm
yeah,
still in
Yuck.
good standing to get my big lump sum money, like everything you have to
Yuck.
schmooze, you probably have to go on trips with them, you have to do all this stuff, and that's less time in your district.
yeah.
Professional ass kissing is wild.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I know that's
yeah.
not an That's not on your agenda, but what are going to be your top 3 priorities when you do win?
All right, top 3 priorities. All right, so organize locally. I think we talked a lot about that already.
Mhm.
And organize the progressives as well, or be connected with the progressives. I've heard that the squad, that there's actually no squad. Like, they actually don't really work together as a squad.
Yeah, they
Supposedly.
broke up.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no insight into that. I just know.
The
Like
Real
Elon Omar, someone
Housewives
said
of
that
Capitol
it
Hill.
doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Make a
So,
new
but
squad.
if we're not working together, I don't like. We know we need to have a real coalition, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's a progressive caucus, but a lot of people some people in the progressive caucus are not too progressive. So
Mhm.
we're going to have to figure that out. But we're going to be more connected to the Congress people who are actually a little bit more progressive,
Yeah.
and just have to coordinate and learn from them. I'm going to take the time to learn from them, but also, you know, consolidate our votes to win concessions from leadership, things like that. Like, we need to work together and organize at the higher level as well. So that's definitely something I want to do. Number 2. Number 3, I think I want to get into the government agencies a bit more and learn how agencies work. I worked on a contract for the Department of Education for many years, but unfortunately I was cut by Doge last year.
Damn.
So
Doge.
it stinks. I got to see firsthand, the dismantling of the Department of Education. My department was the National Center of Educational Statistics, and the project that was cut was international testing. So
Of course.
we used to have scores U.S. compared
Great.
to other countries.
Great.
So we're not going to have that for a couple of years.
They said we don't need to compare. It's all good. They're better than
Like,
us.
we know where we
We
stand.
know where we stand.
So that was my project.
Damn.
We got lost that project. I got cut, but
Damn.
it allowed me to campaign full time. So I'm very happy about that. But I also got to see this dismantling of that. And a funny story: there was a book, the Fifth Risk, by Michael Lewis, and that was about how government agencies work. And he had a story in the beginning during Trump's first term. Every president is supposed to come and bring a Senate representative to each agency to learn how the agency works. And Trump didn't send anyone.
What?
I mean,
No
technically,
way.
Elon Musk.
So I think it's really important to understand how the federal government works, and
Yeah.
Because nobody does. But
to
the
an
loudest
extent
crowd
that you
about what's
can,
wrong.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is huge. It is huge. Yeah, but when you make laws that affects these agencies, I think understanding the ins and outs of it will be important.
Yeah. I think Trump
Yeah.
he doesn't
Yeah.
want to learn about them, so he dismantles
It doesn't
them.
want to learn.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
want to learn about that, so just dismantle it.
yeah,
Just
let
take
me
it
hire the
apart.
WWE lady. She doesn't even know what AI is. It's a
And
own
yet they were
government
like,
doesn't
let's
know how it
cut
works.
international statistics.
Yeah.
You
So many.
know,
Great.
that's just showing we're not really that great.
That's so unserious.
Yeah. I think, whenever we ask this, we love hearing the answers because we know what we would do. Like, I think everyone's like, if I was a politician, this is what I would do. I'd walk in there and I'd impeach him and I would give
Yeah.
everybody free healthcare day one, and everyone gets
Yeah.
at least $30 minimum wage. No question, no ifs, ands, or but, like, the most unrealistic things. And so I think it's important for other people to hear, like, realistically, okay, we have probably 100,000 things we want to do, but
Yeah.
what are the areas where we can actually either take apart and rebuild or build on what's already there or kind of fix? Those are things we all need to know, because if not, everyone's going to be so mad on day one that they didn't get universal health care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. Universal healthcare is a big priority for me.
Yep.
And I want to use our local organizing to get every New Jersey representative on universal healthcare. It's always a struggle to get them on. Like,
Right.
one year they're on, the next year they're off. It's really annoying. So, want to make sure that every New Jersey congressperson's on it, and then just like what I said, leverage what we have, the connections we have with the progressives, and make some concessions, or whatever. What I discussed earlier is the foundation to help us win that down the road.
Yeah. And truthfully, if the tax cuts for billionaires come into play, that helps universal healthcare. It helps, but that money, that taxpayer money, can go towards things like universal healthcare. People don't really think about all of that, like
Yeah.
what you're planning on doing is not only helping the working class, but it then could accomplish things that we never thought would be possible for this country.
Yeah.
Healthcare, not bombs.
Healthcare. Yeah, right
Didn't
there.
follow up. Just, on the wall.
Yes.
It's right there.
Well, in order for all of that to happen, we say people have to go out and vote in primaries and in the general election this year in order for that to happen. But I feel like a lot of people might be feeling like the system's a bit corrupt right now after, witnessing Trump get reelected. So what would you say to somebody in your district that might be feeling like they don't trust the system and they don't think that they want to vote?
Yeah. Do you know, I struggled with this question a little bit when I saw it, but I'll share a story from today. I went to a voter at the door, and I looked at their voter history, and they did not vote at all in the elections that I was looking at. And I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." This person's like, mid-age, mid-30s, and I feel like I have a good sense. So I knocked on the door, and I shared those policies with them, and I think they're gonna vote in June. Well, that's what they told me. So, but I don't, I felt like she was genuine. But I think for the folks who struggle with that, to get others involved, I think finding someone that's, more genuine, finding candidates that are more genuine, I think that's really important, who you can tell that really cares. I think sometimes candidates come along who want to take on the progressive lane, but they might not have a history of that, and and I don't want to diss anyone, but like it happens sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
and they kind of disappear after the election, and sometimes you see their issues, change based on like what's popular at the time. So um, I don't know. It's also hard. Like I go to mosques, and I know a lot of Muslims don't vote as well. But as I speak, I have a lot of conviction about what's happening in Palestine, and just I found that changes a lot of people,
Yeah.
because I guess I don't really sound like a normal politician.
You sound like a human, like you have empathy
Yeah.
and humanity.
Right.
Not a robot.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. Like just a regular person who's concerned and not trying to, manipulate your vote. Right. And so people who want to help change the world, I think, just talk to people who are might be cynical, but express yourself in a way that's genuine and that truly cares, and perhaps you can change some people's minds that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, be like a robot reciting a script like Cory Booker.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So if you're running for president,
Okay.
who's your dream VP, living or dead? I think I know.
Okay. I kind of want to cheat. Uh, I want to do both.
Oh, curveball.
I mean, okay. So the dead would be Teddy Roosevelt,
Teddy.
because mainly for the national parks
Yeah.
Yes.
and antitrust.
Mhm.
We love antitrust around here.
Yep.
And all the other stuff, we're gonna leave all the other stuff.
Everything else is fine.
I can
Yeah.
pass. So we'll take those two things. Actually, for vice president, that's actually a little hard. There's a couple of people I like. There's like, okay, I'll go with Cynthia McKinney. I think, yeah, she's a former congresswoman that was speaking out against Israel before it was popular.
Oh.
They
Okay.
districted it out.
I had it wrong. I thought you were going Bernie.
Okay, I'm a huge Bernie person,
Yeah.
but I think the best thing about Bernie people is that they will disagree with Bernie. and they don't have to follow him blindly.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to idolize and agree all the time
We don't.
with
We don't.
politicians. And yes, I do agree that there are probably some stances that Bernie has that not everybody agrees with.
Yeah.
It just is what
And
it
like,
is. They can't be perfect.
yeah. And I think that's like something we've been trying to like convey to people, like, hey, you you can like disagree
Agree
with the
with
people
them.
you like, right? Like nothing's
Right.
gonna happen. Like they're not gonna shoot you. Like you can
They
say I
probably
don't
want
like
you
that.
to.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if the politician gets defensive about that, then that's a red flag.
Yes.
So,
Yes. They should want to hear your constructive criticism.
yeah,
They
yeah,
work for you.
right.
They
Yes.
work for
I'm happy
you.
you said that. I'm happy you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus, it's, he's just old.
Yeah.
That's
It's his
part. I mean,
time.
that's part of it. It's
Yeah.
mainly the other.
Yeah.
That's
He's
Yeah,
just,
he's up there.
we're not trying to be ageist, but there comes a point where there's a whole
Yeah.
generation. I think more we talk to candidates, especially, candidates that are under the age of 40 who are just like, I've been ready to do this, and it's time for this new generation to come up. And so, yeah, the people who are like over the age of 75 really need to start understanding that there's a new generation that just really does need to come in. They have fresh ideas. They understand what we want. The people that are living in this
Seriously.
economy, producing in this economy, getting the jobs, living that life. We're not retired. We're not,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
need to
Jim
start.
Clyburn, sit
Yeah.
your old ass down some point.
We have to get younger,
Yeah.
And so
I'm begging. Please.
please,
Definitely.
Bernie. Yeah.
I'm begging, please.
It's done on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now you're making me rethink my answer because Cynthia's pretty over.
Well, a VP, you're the president, the VP.
Yeah.
We'll let that happen.
Count it. We'll count it.
We'll count it. We'll count it.
Okay.
But this is a hard one. This might be the hardest one.
Okay.
It's a who would you rather of terrible people. So would you rather be stuck in the sauna of a gym with RFK Jr. or JD Vance?
Okay. Okay. All right. You could go in so many different directions with this one. I'm gonna go a little bit serious. Okay. Okay. So with JD, I would want to ask him about like why is he flipping on Iran, going to war with Iran.
Yeah, why are you
But
leaking that, JD?
I'm gonna go with RFK because I had some hope about like we would get rid of glyphosate, or we might do some things for our health.
She said no.
Yes, happened.
No. He said, I'm going to go in my jeans to the gym.
Yeah, I know. And in fact, glyphosate, they're trying to put it in.
Yep.
I don't even know the latest right now, but the Trump administration is trying to put it in all our food right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Can you stop poisoning us? Oh, how about I make a list of everyone that's autistic, though?
Yeah.
Didn't ask for that.
Yeah. I mean, like some of the things he said was okay, but and I wanted to focus on that just because he was saying some of the okay things. But he's not doing the okay things. So
no,
because unfortunately he's part of this administration.
Yeah.
They don't do good things. I mean, people forget he was awarded a Medal of Honor from a president who was a Democrat. So there was at least part of him that wasn't full MAGA Maha.
Yeah, there's shreds of sanity in there. It's just like, why are you embracing the insanity?
Yeah. That's the sucky part, because to your point,
okay, I see it now because he was an environmental lawyer. So
yeah. So it's what it is. But it's you. I was almost going to jump on your question.
Well, okay. So, sir, we are planning in our heads. Don't know if it'll actually happen yet, but when everybody wins, we're gonna do a world nation tour. So, what's your hidden gem in Central Jersey? Put me on.
Central Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
where are we going? Where are we going in our home country?
Okay, we're gonna go to the real Jersey Shore. The really beautiful beach area, a wildlife preserve. It is, I think it's about 10 or 15 miles long. It is beautiful there.
Okay.
Actually, some of my supporters, like they organize a bird watching there because it's a great place for
Home of
nature.
You're a Nate. I was
Yeah.
straight up.
And you can go see seals, like just sunbathing
That's
and
you. That's your
enjoying
jam.
themselves. The deer, if you drive up to a deer, they just stand there and just
Yeah.
stare at
Yeah,
you.
they're not even phased.
Yeah.
They are unfazed. They are not used to.
Yeah,
They don't
there's a
care
shit
about the
ton.
cars. They're not used to cars.
No, they don't.
So
It's just a Jersey thing.
these are different deer. Like the deers in the suburbs, that at least try to run away. No, these deers, they just stare at you.
Yeah.
They do. I don't know what it is about the deer in Jersey, in central Jersey. Yeah, when my sister
built
lived there,
different.
like at night when we would drive home to their condo complex, they would just sit there and stare at you. They wouldn't move. Like I'm always used to them running off whenever a light shines on them, and they would just stand there, and there was always so many of them.
So I didn't share the name of this wildlife preserve. It is a federally owned land, but it has an unfortunate name, unfortunately. So it's called Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
But it's a
Ooh.
very nice area. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a sand up there. Yeah.
Boy. Well.
Yeah, we'll try to give that a better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we change the name. Maybe like that's my priority, to change the name.
Change the name, yeah. Don't let Trump hear about it, because then he's gonna want to name it after himself.
That's true.
That's true. Keep that one to yourself.
Okay.
Yourself.
We'll keep that on
Well,
the
I'm glad we're going somewhere like, where we can sit in silence and like be one with nature. Everyone's like, come do this hiking trail up a mountain and then drink moonshine and then go
My
eat
knees and ankles aren't built for that. Not anymore.
White River rafting, and we're like, this isn't the Travel Channel.
Oh, that's
we can listen to birds. That's easy. That's easy work.
Okay, I'm glad
that's more my speed.
Yeah.
You're visiting.
It'd be easier for us to get over to Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, it's a quick drive down.
It's going to be a quick journey for us. So
yeah,
perfect.
Great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Well, before we outro out, we want to give you a chance to shameless plug your website, your socials, and if you're looking for like volunteers and if you have any events, like just go ahead, shameless plug away.
Sure. So my website is johnshootforcongress.com. There's a form there. If you fill it out and want to volunteer, that's the best way to connect with us. If you follow our Instagram, John Shoot for Congress as well. Actually, that's a great way to connect with us as well.
Yes.
If you follow us, someone will probably reach out to you. And we have a celebration this Saturday in Woodbridge. From 2 to 6. We're celebrating our petition signatures. So we are submitting the petition signatures tomorrow. We have around 1,500. And we only needed 500 to get on the ballot. So I'm sure
he's an overachiever.
Let me triple that.
So that's actually below my goal, but you can't.
Hey, it was enough.
I'm happy.
Like
I'm happy
that.
with it. I'm happy with it.
I like that.
Yeah, we talked to a lot of people. We've talked to, and a lot of times people they pay consultants. They go to areas to collect signatures. We talk to, these are people that support us. Like these people we talk to at the doors, at events. So really proud of that. So we're gonna celebrate that on Saturday.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's awesome.
I love that. A little celebration.
That's sick.
I do.
Absolutely,
I love that.
I
And
love that.
remind people when the primary is for New Jersey.
Great. Thank you for bringing that up. The primary is June 2nd. It's coming up in a little bit more than 2 months.
Yes.
It's gonna be
definitely
like
need
that.
volunteers.
Yeah, the last minute push.
Yeah, we need the volunteers. If you can help us phone bank, if you could donate, whatever you can help to contribute, please do so. I would appreciate it very much.
$1.
Give him $1. Give him a couple hours of your time for phone banking. It's not that hard, guys. It's okay. You're going to be okay. You could pick up the phone for him and call some people. What's the worst that happens? They hang up. It's just,
That's it.
come on, let's overcome our social anxiety this year for the greater
For
good.
democracy.
For democracy. That's the least we can do, guys. So please go to his website, fill out the forms, give him $1, and show up and vote. Check your voter registrations, like we said.
Daily
At this point.
They're doing the shenanigans.
They're going to continue to do the shenanigans. You have to get in front of them. So make sure you're checking your voter registration. Check where your polls are. Don't wait till the last minute to vote. Vote early if you can. There's all different ways that you can vote. But just, if you wait till the last minute, then what can you do? So just make it your priority this year, June 2nd, to go out and to vote and do it early voting. That is the key.
Go to John's site.
That is the key to this, early voting. So we want to see you all out there. And we thank you, John, so much for joining us this week on the Blue-Lusional podcast, Chat GRC. We are so excited to watch this last month and a half push towards primaries that are happening, everyone.
Yeah, it's not getting canceled, guys.
They're not getting canceled, guys. They are happening every day. And John needs all your help. So if you're in New Jersey and you're in John's district, please, oh my God, please vote.
Central Jersey.
All right.
Get on it.
So we'll see you guys next Thursday for another episode of Chat GRC. We thank you guys for watching. Thank you, John. And have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.